And welcome to the Kickback, an exclusive episode live from Old Trafford. Why, you ask, my friends? Well, because come May, Manchester United women will face the old enemy, Manchester City, here at Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams. And let's not forget, they're in a race for Champions League football. So as a very special guest today, we're going to be speaking to the captain, Tissier, the future, Grace Clinton, and the access is so exclusive, they're even letting me do this. It's amazing being here actually today because it's a stadium so rich in history, but actually it's criticised more often than not at the moment because of its age. And we know the new stadium is coming. They've spoken to us about 2031 and the plans for New Trafford, if that's what it's going to be called. But when you do come here and you have these moments, this limited access, unlimited access, to see what it's like, you can see it needs a little lick of paint, but there's no taking away from the fact that it's a very, very special football club, steeped in history. And actually, this place will be missed, won't it? Wave, you're on the Kickback! Like and subscribe! It's an absolute beast, isn't it? 73,000 capacity here at Old Trafford. And the women's ambition for this game, this derby against Manchester City, is 50,000 fans, which would be incredible to see that. That would be the highest attendance for Manchester United women at Old Trafford.
I think to play at Old Trafford, it's every kid's dream really. Like the crowds, like everything that comes with it, like the walkout song. Yeah, I would love it. Yeah.
Oh, that's like a genuine emotion though. So you were Manchester United growing up?
Yeah. My whole family supports United. So like growing up, like we used to come watch all the games and stuff. So like me, my brother, my dad, love it.
See, this is the thing, like how important is it just having the opportunity to be able to do that? Like you wear the Manchester United shirt, you play Old Trafford.
I think even like last season when like I was injured and we came back and we had a game at Old Trafford, like even to walk out onto the pitch, like I can remember like you always used to want to like go touch a bit of the grass as like a kid, but you couldn't obviously because you weren't like the player. Like now I get to walk onto the pitch and do whatever I want really. I think it was mental.
Like we say, it's this game could be almost a bit of a decider in terms of league positioning as well. Obviously every team wants to win every single game. But what would it mean to beat them here?
Like I say, like I think it would just be amazing. Like they're coming to our ground, like our home. Like it would just mean everything to beat them. Like obviously we'd played them already a few times this season at Lee and at Etihad, and to beat them there, I think it would just be again amazing to beat them in front of our home fans. So I think it'd be massive.
And your family as well. Like to come
definitely.
and watch their daughter or their cousin or sis or whatever, like it's really special.
I know, and especially like because there's so many of us that do support United as well. Like I think like we've all our families have grown up knowing United. So then to come to Old Trafford to watch now someone that you used to support play, you're going to be playing. I think it's mental. Does
it matter to you that there's so many of the male counterparts at Manchester United who are like willing you guys on as well? Is that important?
Yeah, I think everyone should get behind us. Like really, like it's all one team really.
The women are getting to play here at Old Trafford. They're going for a record crowd, also for the derby game. How important is it for you guys as the male allies of the women to support that?
Yeah, very important. Obviously, we're together in this. It's an entire club. It's not only men and female. We're both here to help each other, and we wish the females a very good game, and it's a very important game as well. I think they're quite close in the top, aren't they? So yeah, special game.
I think it's massive, and obviously what I hope is for them to have the opportunity to play with a full stadium. I think that would be amazing for them. It's something unique. This stadium has a special aura, special feeling every time you come to the pitch and you see the stadium full. Sometimes when you're here for a long time, you might take for granted because there's always like that.
Absolutely. I saw lovely pictures of your daughter on
Yes.
social media, and the picture of her wearing the little United kit out with you at Old Trafford. You must look and think, one day she can do that.
Yeah, I think hopefully one day she can look to it and be inspired by that. Obviously, me being a football player, she will have the ball always there in the corner. And then she will decide if she wants to play football or not. But I think we have to normalize a little bit more women to be in love for this sport. I think it's such a beautiful sport, such a sport that impacts a lot of people. So why not? Why can you not have maybe one day in the future men and women playing together? I don't know. In a few years, maybe that can happen. I don't know. It's a scenario that we don't know the future, but I think we have to normalize a fact that women's team can fill full get stadiums full. They can play in front of thousands of people, attractive football. I think the women's football are going towards that direction, and hopefully they can reach that level.
Yeah, any of the stadiums are obviously really cool, and I think it's more before than after you've sort of really like understand what a cool opportunity it is. And you know, during the game you could be playing anywhere, you could be on a park and you wouldn't even realise. So no, it's really special to have the opportunities, and I think there's going to be many more to come as well.
Absolutely. Do you feel that there's like an added pressure being the captain with that, to like being able to step out at Old Trafford and like give the people
It was
what they
actually my
want?
first game as captain at Old Trafford, like my first game ever. Yeah, West Ham at the start of the season. So I got thrown into the deep end, but it was nice. We won that game, so that was a good start. But no, I think I've always ever played like the best I can, and I try and be reliable on the pitch and kind of give my all every game, and try and be as consistent as possible, and so the players know what to expect from me, and kind of lead in that way.
How important is it to you, as now the captain of the club and as a woman in football, like to watch the youngsters come in, young boys and girls, and go, oh, this is normal. We see women playing here now as well.
Yeah, it's really nice. I think it's kind of a responsibility that you kind of have to take on. Don't really realise it. You just see how much difference it's made. Like even from where I'm from now, the amount of girls that are playing football now is incredible, and it's so nice to see as well. And it's just going to raise the standard even more. The quality of the girls and the boys coming through is insane. So I wonder where football will be in 10 years' time.
Yeah.
Our home opener at Old Trafford. Luckily enough, my family was able to come over as well. Like it was first game in regular season wearing the Manchester United badge. I was just ecstatic to have my family with me, and then also headed a ball for the first time, you know. And then we just had that resounding win, so it was just a great feeling. The environment was electric, and our supporters, home and away, are just always so energetic, and we definitely feel their support all the time.
And it's constantly building as well. I mean, the ambition would be to have 50,000 fans at this game for the derby in May. Tell me, are your dressing room teaching you about the hatred and the rivalry between City and United?
Yeah, well, I think that was the shock value when I first moved here. Within the first week, it was just like, I'm just walking around there just like red or blue. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, clearly red. But I love that. I love that for English football, like how much of a rivalry is just like instilled in the culture of the community and how passionate you are about the sport. So I love to see that. Love, you know, whatever side they're on, just to create like this awesome atmosphere that we'll have on May 4th.
Absolutely. And it's important that the opportunity's there.
Yes.
And that's, I would say, one of the main things that we seem to focus on in the moment is that it's getting that place to play. You know, Old Trafford has been that stage for so many years, and now the women are becoming more regular on this stage. Does that boost the performance? Does it boost morale in the dressing room?
I think so, yeah. I think moving to England as well, like when I'm driving on the, I would say highway, but carriageway, you know, you see signs and it's just like, I'll see Ella Toon, my teammate, up on this giant screen. So like all of these moments leading up to that match day, for us as players and for the fans, just knowing like we are on an equal level now. We still play the sport just as well and just as entertaining. And then we have so many personalities that you can follow and you know, throughout our entire career. So I think it's just amazing, just the investment that we have and the exposure that we're having. And I think it could always get better. But right now I'm pretty excited to be a part of this history in women's football.
And you must enjoy when you see the young fans, boys, girls, men, women, everyone together. It's they're enjoying that experience with you, you know. How important is it to set an example for them in the future? You know, I have a daughter, I have twins, right, boy and a girl, and they're 5, and everything they've done at the same time together. And we were watching your game the other night, a 4-0 win, and my daughter just looks and sees it as normal to see women playing football on the telly, you know, and I'm like,
oh, that's awesome.
Life changes, you know, and there has to be like people adapt to that as well.
Yeah.
Thankfully, some people will adapt to that.
Yeah, life changes and can change quick when you're intentional. So I think the league here has grown intentionally. I think all the measures that have been put in place, you know, as I'm saying with those billboards, the radio, everything that's happening, I think has really improved our growth and allowed us to have both girls, boys, and everyone in the stands enjoying our games, and even more so once we can continue getting that. And I think that would be really great for our sport.
It's Old Trafford. You know, we play for Manchester United, and that's one of the greatest clubs in the world. So for us to be able to put on a performance and put on a show at the Theatre of Dreams, it's a dream, isn't it?
And your story is particularly interesting because you've got sister Olivia.
Yeah.
She's at West Brom.
Yeah.
What was that like when you beat them in the cup?
Yeah, so when we drew them, we both said like we knew it was going to happen. We just had this feeling. She was out when the draw was on, so we FaceTimed each other straight away and we were like, oh my God, like we're going to play each other. But yeah, the night was amazing. I sorted a box out for my family, so we were all able to watch together, and she did herself so proud. And you know, the supporters, even our fans, were bigging her up, and that's what made me really happy. It was hard not to play and not to be involved myself, but I mean, it meant that we didn't kick each other, so I suppose that's probably best. But yeah, I was so proud of her, and again, it just means that she can show off herself on a bigger stage, and I like to think that's what she's done.
Maybe one day Manchester United, you can be like the Nevilles of the women's side.
Yeah. Well, we've drawn them once in a cup, so we could maybe draw them again, but yeah, she can come and join me here.
It's just very exciting to see that there is now so much attention being put on this game that hopefully we're going to be able to break a record attendance. That would be really cool.
How have you noticed that changing through your experience? Because you've been Arsenal, you've been away again at Wolfsburg, back in England. What's the change like?
I feel like every club you play against, you see that they are trying to play in the big stadiums. They're trying, you know, to break certain records. You see even them breaking records in the championship. I think just seeing how much attention is being put in the women's game and just seeing how everything is evolving, it's just really nice to see. And I also think that's one of the main reasons why women's football in England is being so popular, and people just want to be able to move to England because they have the image and you're being able to also showcase what you can do. So just seeing that whole evolution in the women's game is really nice to see.
You've probably seen all of that journey, that transition. You must feel proud of what you've achieved in the game.
Yeah, but then I also feel like I'm the type of person that is always looking to just keep improving, and I feel like I haven't hit my top years yet, so I'm really trying to get there, but it's just really nice to see how the women's game obviously is growing. Just also the level, sometimes you don't even think about how much you're growing yourself, but then just generally the women's game has grown so much and you just grew with it. So I think every single person that has been in the journey can be very proud of what they have achieved so far.
How important is that to set that example now to youngsters watching football, that women get the equal opportunity?
I think it's important that they also see where we're all coming from, and that it's not just something that we already have, because maybe for someone that's just coming around the corner and just hopping in the women's game and all of a sudden having all these things like just facilities and big stadiums and attendance, I think it's important for them to realize that it wasn't a normal thing, where now it's becoming a more normal thing. But still, I feel like we have to push for still a lot of things, and it's important that we keep setting the bar high and not be happy how far we've come, but keep progressing and don't settle for what we have.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we as older players have an important influence on that, just to let the girls know that, you know, it's not all coming by itself. You have to work hard for it, and you know, you always need some role models. Like I think in England you have a lot of people that are role models that are really showing and opening up about things that need to be changed. So I think that's a really good thing to see.
That's why I play football for. The big games where you can just go out there and it's like so many fans but you can't hear them because it's like you're just so into the game, and those games is just what you play football for.
Do you think about the steps in women's football, like where it is now, getting the opportunities to play at Old Trafford? How much does that mean to you personally as a woman in football?
It means a lot. Like all these fans, like playing in these stadiums is like a dream for all of my friends, at least, because my friends in Norway like played football before. That's like everyone's dreams, even though they were a boy or girl or anything. So playing in that stadium is like, it's massive, it's emotional, it's a dream. Like after my career, telling people I played in Old Trafford, it's actually crazy.
All of our games at Old Trafford are incredible. The first couple of years when I was here, because we weren't used to playing at Old Trafford, like the occasion and the stadium is so unlike what we're used to playing in, that alone is a feature. But we've got to a point now as a women's team where playing at Old Trafford is something that we've had more experience of. So one, being able to come here and actually claim it as our sort of home ground. Two, playing our rivals. Three, off the back of an amazing home or an amazing away win against City earlier in the season. Like, we really want to keep this momentum going. We all know in football things can change very quickly, and so really you can only literally look at the next game. But I think you can probably tell from being around us, there's a bit of a good vibe about us at the moment. We seem to have clicked this year, and I think that it's on us to try and keep that going and put ourselves in the best position to get into Champions League.
What do you put that down to, Aoife? Because the transition on the pitch with players kind of coming in, players going, there was big shoes to fill as well. What's been the ingredient in the team that's made it click?
If I knew that, I think I'd be a manager. If I knew the answer to that question. I think when we've had tricky periods in the past, so last season we didn't do as well as we wanted, it's never through lack of trying. And sometimes I imagine, let's say as a fan, and you're looking from the outside and you can see a team that aren't doing well, it can be quite hard to see that it's very rarely through like trying too little. And so I would say like our effort and our intent and what we want to achieve and our aspirations has always been the same throughout the seasons. And then some years it seems to click a bit more, and that this year we seem to have come together even closer as a team than even potentially previous seasons. And even in previous seasons I would have put my neck on the line and say we were probably one of the closest, if not the closest team in the WSL. So for me to say that we've got even closer on the team and have that belief, I think that's probably quite unique. And then you get in a run of some wins, you get some really good wins under your belt, and all of a sudden you feel like momentum is in your favour.
A derby day is a derby day. It doesn't matter like whether it's the women playing, whether it's the men playing. Like, it is one of the biggest rivalries in modern day football. Like, and it's always been such a big rivalry. And like, I think we're going to see that when we come and we play City, just the way that we played them at their stadium, and they're going to come to our stadium and we're going to play them, and you know, hopefully we'll bring a great game to the fans.
Playing at Old Trafford is always like, you can hear the fans, it's the atmosphere walking out is amazing. So, you know, to be able to win the derby and deliver that for the fans at Old Trafford would be perfect.
Does that add pressure or nerves or anything like that, or do you rise to the occasion?
I haven't really thought about it too much yet, but we'll probably get a little bit nervous. But like, pressure, you want to perform under pressure. That's why you play at the top stage.
Pressure is a privilege.
Yeah, that's
what they say. Is that what they say? I wouldn't know. When you look what Arsenal do all of the time at the Emirates, they're now averaging something like 40,000 fans. So I like to see that Manchester United are really pushing their women's team to get those numbers as well, especially when they're given the opportunity to play at the main stadiums. And also, like, look at this pitch. I mean, on the Kickback a few weeks ago, we were losing our marbles about the state of those pitches, weren't we? Arsenal away at Real Madrid. Also Derby, no disrespect Derby, but come on, what was that? This is like a carpet. It just shows how important that is. The top clubs have the top pitches. They could probably roll this up and take it with them at the new place. How often do you cut the grass?
Most days now, yeah.
Most days?
Yeah, every other day at least now this time of year, yeah.
And it's real grass?
It's a synthetic, so it's a Deso Grassmaster.
Okay.
It's got 3% nylon strand stitched into it, but
okay.
It's a sand-based pitch.
And is this mostly your job? Is like grass caretaker?
Yeah, cutting, fertilising, spraying,
love it.
Variation, yeah.
Cool. Like we say, a beautiful stadium and one of the best kept pitches in the world, in the best in football, because it's won pitch of the year several times in the Premier League. If you look over in this corner, you'll see a gentleman there. His name is Mark. He is the groundskeeper here at Old Trafford. And if you do really wish to know, he actually cuts the grass every single day. Let's hear it from Mark, everyone. Like and subscribe for Mark. This is an interesting piece of equipment, isn't it? Looks like a sunbed for grass, and it actually kind of is that. It replicates the summer weather, summer temperature, and lays over areas of grass that might need that extra bit of love. Might lie under it myself. Weather's miserable. The person behind Manchester United's success came to the club last summer to anoint the new captain of the women's team. Let's find out how my Tissier is getting on. Captain Tissier in the house. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
How's life?
Yeah, it's good actually. Yeah, it's going well so far. So yeah, I'm very happy.
I know this feels probably like a long time ago for you, but I still sometimes when I'm feeling down just watch the clip of you and Sir Alex Ferguson and you getting the captaincy. Like,
yeah, that was really cool. That was such a special day. We came here, obviously here with Terry as well. And I went into his little, not his office, but his little room and met him. I was like starstruck. And there's not many times where I don't actually know what to say, but I was, speechless. It was cool.
I mean, we saw what he said to you about taking the club forward, and you've done a great job. I mean, things are looking good this season.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, at the start, it was different for me. Like I'd never really had that sort of kind of responsibility before. At a club level, at senior level, so yeah, it was different. I'm sort of still learning on the job. Get things wrong sometimes, but it's okay. Like I think the manager puts his trust in me and the players as well.
It's brilliant to see the change for Manchester United on the pitch this season, because there was an element of pressure, wasn't there, on Mark Skinner at the start of the season. Towards the end of last season, the team hadn't been performing, they hadn't been hitting the heights they were expected to, but now they're in the race for Champions League football. They're into the semi-finals of the Cup again against Manchester City. Who knows? And let's not forget, they won their first piece of silverware last season. This is only the beginning. You're building that experience as well, winning the first trophy for Manchester United women last season. It's possible once again this season. How important is it to keep building on that momentum?
Oh yeah, massive. I think that was honestly like one of the best seasons when I lifted that trophy. It was so cool. All my family was there, and I think we had such a good time after the game as well. And we actually enjoyed the game too. I think that's really nice to enjoy a final, and obviously we've got a semi-final off the back of the international break as well. So. Yeah, everyone's excited for that. It's our trophy that we wanna keep, so we'll be doing everything we can to do that.
The race for Champions League is on.
Yeah.
The game, obviously the derby here at Old Trafford will be crucial on that day. How are you guys building up for it? How's the mood?
I think it's exciting. We've got, I don't know how many games it's before. We've got to play them in FA Cup first as well. So, no better place to play City at Old Trafford, and hopefully we can beat them. And obviously, as you said, the race for Champions League's on, and I think it's really, really exciting to be a part of that as well.
I think Champions League football for us would be amazing. Like, I think that's the next step that we've been wanting to have. Like, we've done now a few years in the WSL, and we've done well, but now like we can challenge for them titles, and I think it would just be great to get the experience of going to different leagues and playing against these different teams. So I think it would be amazing.
Do you feel that the feeling in the dressing room amongst the squad is the goal this season, or is it the opportunity for more silverware, which is possible?
I think we shouldn't really put a limit on what we can do. I think the teams that do the best, like, they don't put like pressure on themselves. Like, I think if we can carry on going in the FA Cup and win that, like, that's a bonus. And then if we can get the Champions League football as well, like, I just think take what comes to us, really.
How exciting of a league is this in the WSL, where you can have and continue to compete for a Champions League spot? I think that's so special. I came into the squad having the team previously been into the Champions League, and knowing and hearing that anthem before our PSG game was nuts. So getting back there was definitely a big target of ours. So very excited to be in this race, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the season will go.
I'm recovering from an ACL, but I'm nearly there, so it's not too bad.
Those dreaded 3 letters.
Yeah.
What was it like when you got that news, by the way?
I think it was hard. It was very hard. However, it's almost normal now, which is a shame. But you hear it so much, and as soon as I hurt my knee, I thought that's probably what it is. And it's happened, and I'm 8 months down the line now, and I've got stronger, I've got better, I'm back on the pitch, so I'm getting there.
Kira was saying to us just earlier on, she's like, she's glad she's had you with her in the gym.
Yeah.
And we hear about that all too often as well, about how important it is to have like other injured players in the gym with you. That's a really, it's almost a sad way of looking at it, but you need that moral support as well, don't you?
So me and Kira, we've known each other for ages. We've played through the youth age groups at England together. So as much as it wasn't nice to be in the gym, it was nice to have each other, and we've kind of kept each other going and kind of motivated, which is hard. It's really hard when you're not feeling it yourself, but knowing that you're not the only one going through it is nice, and just to have somebody by your side just makes it that little bit better.
Yeah, and from what we hear with the ACL situation, hopefully they're going to get some clarity as to why they're happening more and more. Do you have any feeling as to why yours happened?
Yeah, I actually have no idea, because I'd done the exact same movement maybe a month before and I was fine, I was just like decelerating, trying to let the ball go out and like kind of showing it out, but my knee just didn't fancy it that day, so,
Yeah, that's a long recovery.
It is long, but I'm young, and it's not often that you get 9 months to kind of work on yourself and be in the gym and get stronger. If you ask some of the girls here, like when we have gym during the week, you don't want to lift really heavy because you've got training the next day or you've got a game at the weekend. So the fact that I've been able to lift quite a lot of weight and get really, really strong has kind of been that excitement for me. So I've found my ways through it, but yeah.
You're seeing progress in other ways with yourself where you can't have it on the pitch.
Yeah.
That's good. And you'll be a big part of this team, big part of this Champions League football race,
Yeah.
How's the mood in the dressing room? Does it feel like it's the time?
Yeah, we're excited. We're pushing each other every day, off the pitch and on the pitch. I'm lucky to be involved as much as I am, even though I'm injured. I see the girls every day. I'm with them in the gym. I've started to join them on the pitch, in the warm-ups and things. So, yeah, everybody's excited. We all have this one goal that we all want to get to. So we're pushing each other, we're making each other better, and I think that's the best way to be.
And you've been exposed to my evil twin sister.
You said it.
She's not really from the planet, is she? Phoebe, you can tell us it's a secret.
No, Rusha, I had a great time with Rusha. She helped me out a lot, she encouraged me a lot. I remember we'd just sit down and have chats every now and again. She was always making me a better person and a better player, and I'll always appreciate Rusha for that.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. Like, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me.
If we're gonna be in the top 3, that would be a really good achievement. And also for me coming in as a new player, obviously that was one of my objectives. Like, that was one of the main things I wanted to reach with this team. I know they've done it before, but then weren't able to progress to the group stages. So that's, I think, the biggest goal right now, to be able, to get into the group phase and just be able to experience European football.
I think we're good enough. We're good enough to play Champions League. We should play Champions League. I think it's like one of our goals, and obviously that's what we work on every day, like in training, like to win games. And obviously, yeah, we should play Champions League. We're good.
We're really good.
By the way, I feel like you've got like a Glaswegian accent.
It's it.
Yeah, it's like, we're good.
We're good. My Grace have inspired me. Like when I speak to her, I say cool.
It's so weird.
But it's so Glaswegian.
Do you think so?
Who's the Glaswegian presence in your life?
No one.
Like no one. It's like maybe you're like the chameleon. You can adapt to all accents. I feel like
Yeah, maybe. When I speak to, if I speak to like Dominic, I would speak more like this. It's more like easy to understand. When I speak to like people in accent, I'm more like, yeah, I might just say Kiel, isn't it? It's Kiel here. Like.
That's like
It's
better than
weird.
any other Manchester accent
It's
I've
weird.
heard today.
I hung out with Grace's family yesterday, and I was just like, I'm a Scouser.
Yeah, it's weird.
And you and Grace, does she live with you? Do you guys live with each other
No,
through football? No.
we did in Tottenham, but not now.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she lives outside of Manchester Centre, and I live central. So we get like, we go to her when we like relax, like and then we wanna have like a coffee and like go to restaurants. We go to mine. So yeah, it's nice.
Good. And you're getting married soon. Congratulations on
Thank you.
that.
Thank
Can
you.
we come to the wedding? Come on. Come on.
When I make yourself, I will tell you guys.
Hi, Grace Clinton. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, good. We're on a deadline, but that goal, that was nice.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. Yeah, we're watching. It was amazing. Have you watched it back yet? And
Yeah, I've seen it quite a bit. You know, when you're just like, replay. Mm-hmm. Did you say it was a foul? You better know now.
turn away and I'll give more understand. Well, it was funny because Celine, who's your Bezie,
Yeah.
was in here earlier on and she was like, you wouldn't have got away with that, like, regardless.
Celine said
yeah,
that?
Yeah, she had you right under the bus.
She's lying. She was going to me. No, it wasn't. You're lying. She wasn't, was she? She wasn't.
I'm sure she did. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anyway. It was a brilliant goal. Very well taken. The race for Champions League football is on. What would that mean to you?
Yeah, who doesn't want to play Champions League football? I've never played it yet. I'd love to deliver that for the fans, and I think our team, you know, we're really pushing for that this year.
You're going to hopefully be at the Euros?
Hopefully.
Okay. Women, a few words.
Sorry, that would be amazing. That would be a dream come true.
Absolutely, but in focusing on what's happening for Manchester United right now, it's been a great season, opportunity for more silverware as well, and you've been a big part of that. How is that personally for you?
I think it's been a really good year because you don't really think about the games ahead because we have such a competitive squad at the minute that you're training hard to be in the squad, which is, I think, the really good thing about the team this year, that it's so good that, yeah, every training session you've got to step up, and I think that's what made us get to this point now.
Yeah, yeah. And what would be the ambition for you here at this club?
I'll win everything we're in, obviously. I think the club expects big things. It's a big club, they expect the titles, so yeah, we're really pushing for it.
What's it like being a role model to the kids of today?
Yeah, when I was younger, you never imagined that it would be like this now. So my role models are obviously the men, so to be a role model to the younger generations is surreal, but hopefully I'm doing a good job.
You're doing good, and I love the TikTok as well. Keep that.
Do you?
Keep that
Are you
coming.
watching them? I haven't seen you like it yet.
Oh, do you count? What do you count? Do you count the 100,000 likes?
Yeah.
Mad.
As a team, we're trying to kind of show what we can do, and like people know we're good, so we're just proving it to them over and over again, which we've done. And I think we want to get to Champions League again like we did before, and it's just super important to us to keep pushing forward.
Aoife was just telling us that you're very, very bright, that you are maybe the smartest player for Manchester United.
I don't know. I think I might give it to Fal.
Really, well, I did speak to Fal and I came away smarter from that conversation. I mean, tell us about your degree. You're a very, very bright person, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So I studied in the States. I went to University of Southern California, which I will always hold dear in my heart. I studied computer science and business just because I thought it would be super fun to like learn how to code. And that sounds so nerdy, but I do really enjoy it. I do really like coding.
What does coding mean? What does that even mean?
What is it really? It's like a language kind of in its own, like how you would learn like a language or dialect you speak. It's like a language that makes computers work.
Oh my gosh. No, you're too smart. This is too smart for me.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. I have, I'll say it, I'm a nerd. My friends call me a nerd, but it is what it is.
Listen, it's pretty cool, I have to say. Like, does it ever come in useful in the dressing room? Somehow?
Maybe not really. Not really the coding particularly. Maybe just other school aspects as well, just kind of knowing some things that like maybe people wouldn't know, which I don't really know if that's like a cool little dressing room trick to pull out, but hey.
When I first found out that I was hoping to get 50 caps at Villa Park, I sort of found myself thinking, oh, do you know what? Like, it should have been in a short amount of time or, stuff like that. And then I thought, no, I'm going to celebrate it because the sea has been really choppy, like it has not been smooth sailing at all. So I'm going to treat this like it's an incredible achievement, which it is, regardless of how long or how short it's taken me to get to that milestone. So I'm just kind of like living in my own world and milking it and enjoying it, really.
But you should. I mean, it's an incredible achievement, for any player, but it's you who's done it. It's you who's got there, and even how you're talking about it now, you've obviously been playing with all of the different emotions and scenarios in your head. Like, it's a great thing, you've done it.
No, you can probably have a little insight into us as players, how we think about certain things, when like sometimes we should celebrate things a bit more. But as players, like, we give ourselves such grief about things, and I think as I'm getting older as a player, I'm realising that any little bit of thing that you can celebrate, milk it, because it's not going to be here forever.
You've been the surprise package of the season. Okay, yes, winning a trophy last season was exceptional, but now there's a chance that still happens again this season. You've been consistent, for so many games in the WSL, and the fact that Champions League football might happen. How important is it to just see steady progress?
It is so important to have steady progress, and it's so important to be consistent and win each game that comes. For us, our run into the end of the season is really, really difficult. So we've got Chelsea, we've got City, obviously, here at Old Trafford, and we've got Arsenal. Those games are going to be so hard, and so even though we might be sitting pretty in a particular moment here or there throughout the season, we know we've got these massive, massive games, and so it just adds that level of emphasis on every game that we play, and also not taking for granted the momentum that we're in at the moment, because if there's one thing that's consistent about football, it's that everything can change.
Yeah, this is true. 50,000 is the ambition, 50,000 fans at Old Trafford for that game. What would that mean to you to play in that occasion and have a record turnout here?
It would be incredible to have over 50,000 fans here at Old Trafford. I think that it's something that we can achieve. I have witnessed it for a women's game at Old Trafford, the opener for the Euro 2022. It was England v Austria.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the exact attendance, but Old Trafford felt very full that day. So I think it was over 50,000. So it's definitely possible. And I think that the interest and the demand for women's sport is there, and we're starting to transcend out of this sort of women's space only, like in terms of sports and interest. I think that people are now really interested in it. I think people who are interested in men's sports are now getting interested in women's football, and long may that continue. And so for me, it's only going to grow, and if it's not this time, it will be next time. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, and the importance is that the opportunity is there now as well.
Yeah, that helps. Mm-hmm. Opportunity helps.
Opportunities for everyone. It does always help, but the fact that it's there and it's becoming more consistent, I think will benefit every single team, every single woman in sport. It's having that access to the opportunity that's given to you. Fair play. You've got. When you're on the pitch, I think everyone says what a player you are. You have such an impact in so many games that you're taking part in. What's the personal ambition for you? Even though we've just hit 50 now, 50 apps. Have you got a goal in sight, Aoife?
What is the personal ambition? I would love to go to a World Cup with Ireland. That is a personal ambition for me.
$27.
Yeah, and then other than that, I have been playing probably more of a supportive role at the moment at club, and so I have this phrase that I say to the physio. It is like, if I get on for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, I will put 90 minutes of intensity and energy into whatever that is. If it's 1 minute, if it's 10 minutes, if it's 30 minutes. And so my other personal ambition is to keep that up.
Good
keep
for
that
you.
mentality up. Yeah.
That's very intense and very driven. So that just shows that what you put into yourself, you'll get out. Well done. It's been a season of transition on the pitch for Manchester United women, but one player who's stepped into big shoes and done a right good job, becoming a fan favourite along the way, is this woman's. Hi, Fallon.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. Welcome along to the Kickback and talkSPORT. I don't know how to start without fangirling because you have been so good.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
How's it going for you inside? You feeling great? Are you feeling great?
Oh, really good. Yeah, I could be my toughest critic as well, but I think I'm just surrounded by great people. Like, I talk about this in every interview, I think, but like my squad is honestly genuinely so lovely and are always that support that I need, especially my staff as well. Our GK union, I couldn't ask for a better one, so I think that's really been uplifting me this season.
I mean, particularly with the GK union, because you stepped into some big shoes at Manchester United, and curious to hear about you being your own critic as well. You're, you know, how do you analyse the performance so far?
I think I'm better at taking a step back once it's done, but I think at this point in the season, I would say I'm proud of how I handled things so far. I think I did, again, as you said, have big shoes to fill, but I think just in general, just a big badge to put on my shirt and wear every single time with pride, which I do. I'm so grateful for this experience, and I think I'm happy. I'm happy with how it's gone so far, especially getting my first U.S. Women's National Team call-up. I couldn't describe to you the phone call that I had with my mom. That was a really, really proud moment for me.
Oh, well done. When did you get that news?
That was probably in November time.
Okay. What was that conversation like with Mum?
Well, actually, I had found out via email, and then I had waited until the social media post to tell my mom. So there was a bit of time in between then. And then when she found out on social media, she called me. There were a couple expletives, but she was, for not telling her, but she was just so proud, so happy. She's been with me, of course, every single step of the way, my biggest supporter and my best friend as well.
If I was the manager of Manchester United, I'd introduce Rosie Wine. If I were the manager of Manchester United, what would I want to bring to the club? It's a good question. It's a good question I've asked myself that I don't have the answer to. You can let us know in the comments. If they get Champions League football, more money comes in the door, who would you sign at Manchester United? Russia Littlejohn! It's not a bad idea. She'd be the first woman to be sent off at Old Trafford. Russia Littlejohn. These two have been head-to-head kind of all season. The outcome of this game will determine so many factors because we know Nick Cushion's been brought into Manchester City to try and get Champions League football. Of course, they've been playing in the Champions League as well. But for Manchester United, a win here over the likes of Man City, who have been so great this season, it would just maintain that league position they've got. It would show that they've got the upper hand in Manchester. And that rivalry is everything, isn't it? We should embrace that rivalry. That's something we don't really see, maybe, in women's football. It's like that hatred, that heated rivalry between two sides in Manchester. I wouldn't mind seeing more of that. Not a bad needle. Never hurt nobody.
We don't like City. Get rid of them. We don't like them. Not for me.
See, I like this. There's no sitting on the fence for me. I mean, it's part of it, isn't it? Especially for a game of this magnitude at Old Trafford, like the fact that it is a rivalry as well.
Yeah, I think when you go to watch like the men's games, like there's no like nicey like this. Like City is our rival. Like we don't want them here. Like they can do their thing over there, but we're going to do our thing here. And if they're coming to Old Trafford,
I quite enjoy watching women's football because we still get to see that needle. We still get to see that physicality.
Yeah.
Do you like that part of the game?
Yeah, I do, but I don't like to be injured.
Yeah.
Obviously. But yeah, it's fun. I think in women's football, like, you can't fake, like, to be fouled, like Grace's goal. Like, you can't do that stuff like you do on the men's side. you just have to keep on, and you can't really like fake an injury on the pitch.
Yeah.
The referee won't blow, so you just need to continue, and I think that's fun in the women's football.
Have you learned the rivalry yet between Manchester United and Manchester City? Where are we at with that?
Yeah, no, of course. Growing up, I was a Manchester United fan. My brother is a big Manchester United fan, and I kind of just followed everything that he did. So we're United fans at home. We even came here for one of their little soccer schools one time when we were kids. And I have a little picture of me and doing an Old Trafford tour. So no, we've known how big the rivalry is and just how big of a deal it is. I would say for me, I've always worn red. My school was red, and our big rivalry was the other school in LA, and they wore blue. So I'm familiar with the red-blue clash as well. But yeah, no, Derby Day is unmatchable. I think it's just such a different part of the culture that you just can't get anywhere else unless you're watching a football match. So.
And you're going to play in it, and it must be so special. You came here to be in a soccer school, you did a tour, and now you play for Manchester United, and you get to play in front of hundreds, not hundreds of thousands, 50,000 fans. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's super surreal. I think sometimes I forget that I kind of started as this little kid with a dream, and just kind of remembering that that's the little kid that every day I want to show up and play for and represent. But it's super surreal that I represent Manchester United, and I think if you would have told me that when I was a kid, I'd been yeah, okay. I wouldn't have believed you. But then even being able to make my debut for the club at Old Trafford was just it's just inexplicable, the words. I can't find them, but yeah, it was super cool.
That's amazing. And then back then, you didn't, because Manchester United woman wasn't born, you didn't have a woman for Manchester United to look up to.
Yeah.
But now you are that person to the youngsters.
Yeah, and I think it's just super full circle. I think just watching the women's game grow and seeing various teams investing in their women and the push that people are making to get clubs to invest in their women's teams, and just knowing that there's so much growth to be done in this sport for women, because it is the biggest sport in the world, and women make up such a huge part of the world and the demographic. So just seeing that growth and being a part of that growth is something you would just never really plan, but it's awesome that it's happening.
Do you hate Manchester City yet? Is that that rivalry got into your...
I think it's coming slowly. I'm it's getting there. I need to play them more times, I think.
Yeah. You need to go hang about with Kira.
Yeah.
Get City out, we'll beat them. Simple.
I'm trying to get that feeling oh, I hate City. So I think it comes slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't let it take over your psyche though, because you've got good energy.